Hey, what's going on? Dr. Nick, Android. How you guys doing today? That was... Kids are playing too damn loud. Nitrist by Narrowhead. Yeah, so I'm going to replace the ADD converter on this mic pre. Probably the reason you haven't seen it done before is because it costs a bajillion dollars to do. This subboard that I'm putting in, the analog to digital, if those of you don't know what ADD means, subboard, was $300. For reference, the mic pre I'm putting it in was $1,200. So it's quarter of the cost. Quarter of the cost of the damn machine to get this new board in. I've only had it for about 6 years? 5-6 years? No, maybe a little bit longer than that. No. I think I looked it up. I think I bought it in 2015. Yeah. So I was not happy that it broke. This, if you'll recall, I have it on YouTube as well. Me taking apart one of my preamps to replace a capacitor in the power supply, it's the same one. So they wanted $300 or $400 to replace that capacitor, that $8 capacitor. And they also wanted a lot more than this to replace the board. So I emailed the company. I want to say gave him a sob story, but it's a true story about me paying out my ass to repair this thing twice now. And they decided to send me the board for $300 instead of me paying like $5 or $6 to replace it. With labor and all that shit and shipping and, you know, how long is it going to be out? Although this has been broken since October last year. So it's been a while, but anyway, let me put some music on. Nope. There we go. I can't wait to get my channel removed for infringement, but let me swap over to the other table. That's why I'm starting at 7 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. Because I had to literally, like, change apart my apartment. My entire layout's different here. And then B, I went and traded a couple beers for a headphone amplifier that I want to take apart as well, and we'll probably do the initial look at it. Maybe try and clean it up a bit, although I cannot get isopropyl alcohol anywhere, so there's no way we're cleaning it today, now that I think about it. Check out some of the capacitors in there. Traded some Bud Lights. I traded some Toasted Lager. I don't know, it was $20 for this headphone amplifier, and it's well worth it. I can't believe, I know the guy, so I can't believe he let it go for that. I feel kind of bad. But he said he hasn't used it in forever, and it was giving him some problems, some hissing noises and all that. However, he did mention that, oh my god, you gotta see this. I'll have to pull the plug for you guys and show you the plug. It plugs in, it powers via an old style telephone connector. It's weird. I'll show you in a minute when I move over to the table. So the ground is external. So you have to really go out of your way to ground it. And he said that might be the problem. So who knows? Maybe we don't need to recap it. I may just recap it to do it. It looks like it was made the 7th week in 97? Hang on. The 7th week of 1999. So it's been a while. It could do for a recapping. So give me 1 second. Let me just change some stuff around. I gotta actually move my microphone and do a couple other weird things, so hang on. Ooh, alright, I gotta get chat up over here, so give me another second while we wait. But if you can see, this is the power supply. It's an old style telephone cable. It's weird. It's really weird. Hang on, I'm pulling up chat. This is the headphone pre, by the way, not the amplifier. No, I don't care about an update. Just show me my chat. There we go. Okay, hello chat. I can see you now. So yeah, $20 for this headphone amplifier. And presumably cost of parts as well. I don't know what I'll need. Can I see myself live on this? I actually don't have a way of monitoring myself. Come on. Oh, this iPad is... Oh, there we go. Awesome. You are actually upside down. I am on this side of the table. I think you can see that, right? Yes. I'm on this side. So yes, this is the weird, funky telephone cable plug. It plugs into this telephone port. The guy before me had a cat. You can see all the cat hair. I have to get rid of all that. I'm probably gonna have to scrub this down with some Goo Gone or something to get this this tape off of here. I don't want that tape on there, and there's also some tape on some of the knobs. Not a big deal. We'll pull it apart in a minute. That is not what I'm here to do today. That is the project number 2. This is what I'm here for. So you can't read it, but PCB. ASCII, I'm guessing that's assembly, digital, ASP880. I'm guessing it's the same probably across their ASP 8 range. I have an 880, but I'm guessing it's probably the same board in both of them. Yeah, so this is it. One thing I did not do is put down some cardboard. I usually like to put down some cardboard because while cardboard is not an anti-static material, this table is literally made of static. So hang on one second. Get myself a box that does not have my name on it. I'm going to use my tool, not a weapon, Twitch. This is a tool. In this case, I'm using it as a tool. Please don't ban me. Like I said, cardboard is not the ideal work surface by a long shot. However, I don't really have the means to do a great anti-static job, so I can ground myself through some of the stuff on the table, which I will do periodically, but it will not be the greatest job. Yeah, so you already know my name is Gearomatic, but you don't know where in Gearland I live. So this is the 880. I'm going to remove the necessary iced tea. And place it to the side. And we gotta open her up. This should be a pretty easy change. I think the hardest part is going to be some of the cables are stuck in with hot glue. So that's great. I think it's this one. The hot glue is kind of nasty, but this also, to some degree, protects me from swinging like this and scratching it up. Oh, I was gonna say I could have sworn there was a When across the front, it's because I have it upside down. What's the matter? Not a fan of iced tea? If I'm ever off screen and you can't see, please let me know. Damn it. I have a really funky setup. I mounted my don't tell my landlord. I mounted my base stations for the VR up on the wall. And I just unscrewed it and I screwed the camera in. So it's wedged up in the corner. It doesn't have enough room to kind of like tilt far enough. So this table is all the way against the wall in the corner here. It's a really weird setup. This screw. Ah, the hot glue. That's what you're playing at. Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps the shit stay in, but calling me. I don't know that number. I'm not answering. It helps the shit stay in, but ideally, once you rack mount this, it shouldn't really have moved. But you know how that goes. I have mine actually in a mobile rack, so I'm thinking of maybe putting some back on. I don't actually have a hot glue gun, so I would be probably heating it up with a hot air gun and remelting old glue. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, my racky is actually portable. Wow, the captions are really sucking tonight. I'm not normally in a position where I can read them, but it brought them up on my iPad. Sorry, it's off screen. See, you can see the tape in the corner. That is my marking, so I know where the camera can see. So I know that right here you really can't see the screwdriver, but if I go like this, you should be able to see it. You know what I mean? What's going on, Dublin? All right. If you're under the age of 18, please avert your eyes. I'm about to take the top off. So, you may be able to see right off the bat, it is this L-shaped board right here. I don't know why I'm pointing with two fingers. That L-shaped board is the one that we are removing. I have previously had this board out. Before I paid $300. There's actually two ADAT ports right here. It's a little hard to see. I don't want to rotate up on the knobs, but those two ADAT ports in the back right here, these two. I actually desoldered both of them and swapped positions just to make sure that it was not a faulty port. And previously the bottom one worked and the top one did not. After I swapped them, the bottom one worked and the top did not. And of course I need the top one. The bottom one only does 96K with 4 outputs, whereas the top one will do 96K on 4 outputs, or it'll do 48K at 8 outputs, and I need that 48 at 8. Because I stream at 48, and I don't think OBS takes 96. Plus, I don't want to fucking run 96. 96 is for 96 is for losers. No, there's no reason to. I'm going to remove the plug. I should have gotten my wrenches. What's going on, Fist? How you doing, dude? What's gross? The hot snot in here, the hot glue. Use very carefully to not scratch the paint. What's going on, Chrome? How you doing, dude? Oh, it's loose. There's sorry, it's very hard to show you what's going on. Because I can't, if I rest this like this, I'm resting on the knobs. I can do this. Can you see that still? The BNC here for the clock in. Where's it out? Oh, it's clock in. Has a nut on it that I'm trying to remove. Oh, there we go. I would rather not do it on... Oh, you just barely see it. Good. I would rather not do it with the pliers or anything, because that is how you scratch the paint. So I just loosened it a little bit. So that's step one. We have removed all the... Oh, no. I'm sorry. There's one more step. Oh, I forget what this is. This fucking port. I know it's a parallel port, but I don't remember what it's for. I have to remove as well. There's no good way to do this where you guys can see, so sorry. I just have to remove the screw terminals. Oh no! Wait! Hang on. No, that's on a cable. I'm good. I don't need to remove that. I think last time I removed it, I was like, why did I remove it? Because it's just floating here on a cable. So at this point, I have some screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors to remove. Yeah, it's a serial port, but I don't remember what the name of the protocol that it goes over it is, because it's not just serial, you know what I mean? It's something I don't remember. I guess I'm kind of just gonna... What's going on, Hairline? I guess I'm just gonna cut it. Not the cables. There's hot glue on these. Hey, thank you, Mustix. How you doing, dude? Yeah, no, it is a parallel or a serial port. It would be a... I guess in this case it would be a serial port, wouldn't it? Oh god, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna pull it off with a screwdriver. It shouldn't say RimWorld. Does it say RimWorld? Pretty sure I changed it. The screwdriver's just getting stuck in the glue. God, this must be like electronics glue. Alright, it's a science attack. That's what I thought. God, this actually really sucks. It's like on there. I can see that I'm like pulling up the shit, maybe I should get my hot air gun. Well, this I know. That comes off easily. The anxiety is real. Oh, it's only a $300 part on a $1,200 piece of equipment. No worries. Oh, fuck. I really don't want to get out the hot air gun. Yeah, you know what? Hang on. I have a little torch. It costs $35 to make. No, it's probably costs a little bit more than $35, fortunately for me. I just want to watch out for the it's empty. I'm melting the plastic already. Nope, I don't like this plan either. Fucking hell, all these plans suck, dude. God, they didn't really make this with me repairing in mind, did they? It's only a little hot glue sticking to your skin, right? Yeah, I already started to, actually, a little bit. That's why I stopped doing that. That being said, I believe I got enough of that off to pull it out of here. Come on, it's loose. I'm pulling up everything. Shit, I don't want to pull up everything. I just want to pull up the top. That's actually dumb. All right, let me tell you why this is even more dumb. So if you look, you can see this port right here. This bottom piece is actually coming up with it on this one, which means the glue is stronger than whatever they're using to hold the bottom to the board. If they're using anything, probably just friction. Which sucks. I understand why they would use hot glue. You gotta remember, this has to ship. Also, it's probably made in China. I actually don't see a made in sticker on it, but it's probably made in China, so it would have to ship overseas to a distributor. There we go. And then ship from the distributor to your house. So I understand why they would hot glue them. I honestly wish they would just use better connectors than relying on hot glue personally. But anyway, look, you can see, I don't know, maybe you can't, but this piece right here is loose now. The retention, yeah, there's no retention on it. It's literally a friction fit. So they're kind of fucking you over by doing that, but oh well. 2 more to go. Trying to avoid the high voltage area here. It's been several months, several weeks since I powered this up, so assuming they built this correctly, it should be perfectly fine, but it doesn't hurt to be cautious. So much hot glue on the 3D printer motherboards on a computer motherboard. Yeah, this sucks. All right, I got a good idea. I have this handy, by the way. Make sure the cap's on all the way. This is my Burn Gel Max Burn Soothe. I can't tell you how many fucking times. Every time I turn on my iron, I burn my hand. It's literally like, I just expect it now. That being said, ooh, do that, please. What if I just use the iron? Get our proximity close and see if we can melt it. I mean, it is hot glue, right? This feels like it's doing nothing. Oh, it's starting. Hang on. Of course I touched it. Let's see if that did anything. Ooh, yeah. I think that's the way to go. Either that or the actual hot air gun. Have I tried not doing what? Burning myself? I actively usually set out to not burn myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm successful. And I'm exaggerating when I say every time. There have definitely been times where I plugged in my iron and then decided not to do any work and turned it off and I didn't get burned. What is this music? I picked a psychedelic rock playlist and I get this. Yeah, I think this is the right way to do it. I just gotta not touch it. Yeah, it's still... Problem is, I can't see this dimension, you know, on this axis to get in there to see how close I am. I'll try not to touch the glue. I think I touched it again. Thank you, Hairline. Have a good one, man. I'm hoping I replace it well as well. Alright, that's one half. Really used some good shit for this, didn't they? Sorry, I know it's a lot of looking at the back of my hand. I really don't have a good camera view to see and have you guys see what I'm trying to see. And oh boy, I don't remember. I have this. Let me not hold it over my pre. I have this Weller iron. Oh, you can see it. I don't remember widening it, but I don't know. I got it so many years ago, I couldn't tell you. Sorry. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's perfect, actually. I keep saying that's perfect for every idea. Yes, the side cutters, nips, snips, whatever you want to call them. That's a really good idea. I didn't even think about that. Thank you for that. If the vacuum all this glue up later. Psychedelic rock equals 9 Inch Nails. I'm gonna admit, I never really listened to any 9 Inch Nails. I really don't know what genre they are. If I had to make a guess, I would say that 9 Inch Nails is heavier than I want, but like I said, I really don't know their music very much. I want more like funky drifting through space, like than heavy music with whiny singer, which seems to be what I'm getting. There we go. All right, I think that's free now. Yes. Sick. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, they got a lot of that shit on here, didn't they? It doesn't help. There's like crevices in the cabling that allow it to kind of like hide in there, you know. All right, one more. This was a really good call. What was that, Fist? Thank you, Fist. Look at that, it just came off in one chunk. Oh, that's great. A little close to this cable, there we go. Nooks and crannies, they're English cables. The guys who designed this pretty, the company, I believe, Audient, is out of England. I think I'd have to look at the PO that they sent me, but they build little stuff in China, and then they pay some company in the US to service the things. They don't even have like a center here or anything, which is unfortunate because that third-party company wants a ton of money to service them. Hence why I'm trying to do it myself. I can feel it. It's like right there. Got it. All right, that's 3 out of 3 cables. Now we have to remove the screws. Last time I took this out, all the screws came out great, except for one. There's one of these where the back side of the board has a standoff slipped, and I had to take off the backside. I'm gonna really hope that I do not need to take the backside off of this to do this today. Okay. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. Well, it came out. 1, 2, 3. This one was unpopulated, by the way. I'm not sure why. It's labeled CON1, connector 1. There's analog input. This is the digital output here. Interesting that the digital output goes... Oh, the digital output goes to the, what do you call it? That makes sense. That serial port. I don't know what this is. Oh, that just lights the sample rate lighting. And has the feedback and a chip to change the sample rate. It was 3. Here's 4. That was a bitch to get out last time too because of that hot snot. Let me just fucking remove it. Four. We have 5 under here. Five. We have 6 and 7 right next to each other. Actually. One of those I actually want to leave in, but I don't remember which. Seven. And I think that should be it. That should be free. No, there's one more. Never mind. Ignore me. Actually, no. That's one of the ones that I don't need to remove. All right, we're free. So you can see there's actually a daughter board in the back here. That's why I didn't need to remove this top screw here. It's because that just holds the daughter board on. In this case, they actually sent me an extra daughter board, which is nice because that's one of the ones I took apart. So I'm going to just put the new one in. Watch it be different. I'm curious to see. This is mod state A. I'm just checking the markings on it to see if it's any different. Version 1.0.7, version 1.0.5. Ooh. They sent me an older version? God, hopefully that means it's one that is better made. I don't know. Because looking at this, like I can't really show you, but there's nothing on here that makes me be like, ooh, that looks broken. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing on here that I could replace really and like try and fix. Not to mention it's an A to D, so the chip that does it, if the chip broke, there's nothing I could do. Absolutely nothing I could do. Interesting they sent me an older version though. 2 generations older, actually. Sorry, I'm just slipping this bag off camera. All right. Wait. Wait a second. Did I just fucking... Did I just, pull the new one out and put it back in? Did I get that wrong? Oh, I'm a fucking moron. No, they sent me version 7. I had version 5. How did I get that wrong? How did I get that wrong? And you know how I know? Is because I was talking about removing this screw. That screw exists on this board, and on this board, those are actually hex, not Phillips. So they sent me a newer version of the board. Oh, that makes me happier. Okay. How did I fuck that up? How did I mess? I'm gonna have to watch it later and see. I almost feel like I should watch it now just to make sure, but this one has hex on it. This board did not have hex on it last time I removed it, so I know this is a new one. That's true, but revision is... I'm hoping that revision means they fixed what died. You know what I mean? Like why mine died. I know I'm not the only one who has had this issue. There have been a lot of guys quoting online about theirs dying and oh god, them sending it off to get repaired and paying like $600-700 or whatever it is to get it repaired because they had to ship it all over the place, and then going to do a session. Oh, they even included a new nut. I didn't see that. Going to do a session like a couple days later and it not working still. I would be so mad. I'd be done. That's interesting. They sent more hardware for the BNC here. Let me see what I have on mine. I poked my finger through the... Ow. There's one cut lead on the bottom of this that poked right through and poked my finger through. I'm going to match what I have on my original one, which is this has 2 of these plastic rings. I'm only going to include 1. They also sent a lock washer. I haven't never had a problem with this loosening on me, and I really don't want to put a lock washer on the nice paint, so I'm not going to include it. The only thing I could see that being useful for is getting through the paint to make an electrical ground connection. However, the interior and the internal face that you can't see, the internal face of this, both are bare metal, so I don't have a problem with that. And I previously was not clocking through this. I do have the materials to clock through that because that was part of my testing to make sure I wasn't getting a clock. When I was that's the whole reason I need a new ADD board. So I'm gonna go with its original configuration on that. All right, there we go. That's it. At least I figured it out before I put it back together and said it didn't work. God, could you imagine? I'm just gonna put this on loosely so I don't lose it. It's an endearing quality that I fucked up. Okay. It works for me, I'll take it. I do see, which is interesting, there is on both of these, it might be hard to see, it says mod state. It has ABCDEF, GHIJK, S. Interesting enough. And A is the one that's checked off on both the main board and this board. I'm wondering what mods, internal mods, I'm guessing that they have for these things. I wouldn't imagine that's something you do at home. My old one is mod state A as well. 4010-320B? 2B? 20B? 2B. What is this? 401032B. Yeah, okay, so it's still the same board. Yeah, it's just a new version. Version 1.0.7, so I'm hopeful. And gearing, oh, I see. That music gonna come back? I know some of the songs are muted for copyright reasons, so maybe not. The other thing I could do tonight is after I check out the other, the headphone amplifier, I want to see if this works. I can do that live on air if people want. I'm going to have to mute it because when it doesn't work, it makes all these garbly-gook sounds like all over the place. It's bad. Do you need a boating license to understand this now? Some basics of electronics. I mean, I can give you the quick run through. Basically what happens is you have microphone inputs across the back here. Underneath this board, which I just replaced, is a main board that goes up to this front board here. On the front, I have a bunch of options and basically volume control. I mean, it's labeled gain here, but I mean, without getting too far into it, it's basically volume control. And then it kicks back out to this output here. However, I'm connecting digitally, so instead of it going out through this output, I'm actually going out through an optical output over here. And to do that, I have to come through this cable into this board, and this analog to digital converter board, which I just changed, converts it to a digital signal that can be sent to my other microphone. Basically, my analog to digital interface, basically. No, you don't want this crackle. It was bad crackle. It's like ear-splitting crackle. It's really fucking bad. Hence me not using this even while it was broken. Not that you could. It wasn't even passing any signal. You know what I didn't do? I need to tighten these appropriately. That's good. That's good. Did I tighten these? I might have. They feel like they are. That's good. No, they're all good. 2 more. I never use this. That's okay. We'll plug it back in. And then power. This power actually went underneath. So I'm going to run it underneath again. I don't know where my music went. Bring back the music, man. It didn't end. The song's just muted for copyright. So that's it. I mean, the new board's in. I'm going to put the lid back on just because there is some very high voltage in here. I replaced some of these capacitors into here. And it is actually very high voltage. So I'm going to replace the lid just because I want the lid on it when I power it up next. You can see I have a couple of scratches in here already. And it's dusty from sitting out for however many months it's been. I mean, if you guys have questions, I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my knowledge. While I do have a degree in audio, I am not going to tell you I know everything. I will tell you far from that. There's plenty of things I don't know. And B, I have no formal electronics schooling. So this is all just shit that I picked up. I mean, replacing the board is kind of just logic, you know, I unplug everything, replace it, plug it back in, but what did I have for lunch? Last night, I made some chicken noodle soup. I bought a half a chicken, and I made it with an actual half a chicken. And so I had that for lunch too, because I had some leftover. It was really good. I kind of regret not getting some carrots and some celery to put in it, but I didn't want them to get soggy. And I should have gone for it. That's apparent? Yes, thank you. There is a screw left over. I can tell you exactly why, if you give me one moment. I will show you right now. I actually meant to put this away, so it's a good excuse to do this. So, come on. Oh, there were 2 plastic things. Oops. On this daughter board here, which is what I just replaced. On this, yeah, this I guess would be a secondary board, a daughter board. There's a small daughter board right here. You can see it. It basically literally, can you see it? You should be able to see it. It literally holds this second port on here, and it's just connected via through holes up to this. It's a cool design, and it's attached via standoff, so you can see there's 2 right here. I didn't need to unscrew this screw or this screw, and I did unscrew one of them because from the angle I couldn't tell what it was. So that screw actually belongs to this. The new board had those 2 screws already in there. In fact, they were hex heads, not Phillips heads, which is how I identified that it was a different board, because this had Phillips heads in here and I had removed one, and that had hex heads and it still had both of them. So it actually belongs to this board. But that is a good call. I can't tell you how many computers I've opened up, fixed, put back together, and had like 1 screw left over, and I was just like, okay. Thanks, extra screw. Let me just hide you. That's like a legit thing. There was a period in my life in high school and a little bit afterward where, yeah, I fixed a lot of computers for people. And even though I would go as far as to take pictures of every screw I removed in order and write down and label and put them in, I would still always have a screw left over. I literally have a bin, a bin full of just screws, you know, that are like for this or for hard drives or for whatever that. I've never bought any extra screws. I just have this big bin full of screws, man. That's just life doing this shit, I guess. All right. This is going to go into storage. Most likely what I'm going to do is bring it to my parents next time I go over. Because the box that this came in is still in their basement. They're always like, oh, we should get rid of some of your boxes downstairs. And I'm like, no, what if I need to ship something? And I almost had to ship this twice now. Could you imagine if I didn't have a box for this? That didn't have the original packing and all the shit it would need to travel? How much it would cost me to buy a box and the appropriate padding and all that? And God. That's why I always insist. They keep asking and I keep insisting. All right, 2 more screws. You're joking, Fist. So my brother's getting married in a couple of weeks, and I'm bringing a pair of speakers and like a little mixer just to do some music, you know, just for them for their first dance because they're just doing it in their backyard. And just for downtime music, I'm not like DJing. And I needed originally 4, but now 3 IEC cables. You know, the power cables, the standard triangulator, parallelogram? No. Yeah, trapezoidal power cables, you know them. If you don't know them by IEC, you still know what they are. They're IEC 7s, I think. You know what they are. But I could not find any in my apartment. And there was a time where I had boxes full of them because I worked at a high school, and we replaced every single computer and monitor in the building and had all these cables left over that were being thrown out, and I brought some home. And at one point, I was asked to throw them away, and I did, and now I need them all. I know I told you this before. I didn't put this back in the receptacle on the other thing. So that's that. That's done. No, it's not. I gotta tighten up that one screw. This is done. This should work now. Like I said, I'm probably going to look at that headphone amp first before I fool around with this too much. I'm a little hesitant to do this live because, like I said, it makes a lot of noise if it's still broken, but sorry, I'm being very careful not to gouge this paint out. This is not the right tool for this. This is really not the right tool for this. All right, that is good enough. Oh, there's the music. All right. Fingers crossed, you know? I hope that's right. I'm gonna put this aside and we'll grab that headphone amp and pull it apart. So like I said, this guy, I got it for 12 beers. It was like $20 to get this. Which is a bargain. If I can't fix it, then not so much of a bargain, but it's $20. That's not anything crazy. Basically what I'm looking for today, because I'm not going to fix this today probably, is any capacitors that are bulging. This was made the 7th week of 1991, like I said. So it is 1999, excuse me. So it is 20 years old. 21 years old. And from what I've gathered, that's kind of the lifetime of electrolytic capacitors. Obviously it varies a lot with how much heat and use they get. But I would suspect that they're starting to get a little funky about now. Like I said, the diagnosis from this guy was that this guy, he's a coworker of mine. His name's Kyle. The diagnosis from Kyle is that there was a lot of hissing when they tried to use it last. And like I said before, the power for this is actually not grounded. It's this telephone cable, which these are rated for 48 volts, by the way. I'm not sure about the amperage on them, but it's weird. It's just a telephone cable. Excuse me. So there is actually a grounding lug on the back of here, which is what I would need to ground with, or the chassis ground, assuming that this conducts appropriately, would work as well. So that could just be the issue, is that he didn't have a clean ground. If that's the case, that's super fucking easy to fix. Just ground it, you know? Wow, there's nothing in here. Actually, all these capacitors look really good. They all look very, very nice and clean. None of them are bulging or have any brown spots that would indicate that they leaked. I was really hoping there would be some obvious bulging in here. Phone cables as anything else other than phone cables still confuses you. So, I mean, if you think it, there's two parts to the phone cable being a phone cable. One is the actual cable profile and the actual plug on the end. That is its own standard, like this, right here. But then the second part of that is what's actually being sent across it is its own protocol. So this is probably some kind of power protocol. It looks like there are 6 conductors in here, which means everything's populated, at least on this end. I don't know what's happening on this end. Taking off the back of this may actually tell us some more. It looks like there's only 2 things being switched on the power, so I don't know maybe if they're both ground or what, but let's pull the back off and see what's populated where. It's an odd thing. No, I agree. It is an odd thing to do it. I mean, but if you think about it, PoE, power over Ethernet, is kind of similar. These look like they match the front, so I'm not going to worry about mixing them. It's a similar idea, except for power over Ethernet uses Ethernet still, so it's power mixed with data. In this case, it's just straight power. I wouldn't call this PoE, obviously, because it's not Ethernet, but maybe it's POT, power over tele. But, I don't know. It is a little bit of a weird idea. I also don't know if this board is going to fall out when I do this, so hopefully it doesn't. I mean, it won't because it's suspended across the front and the back, but... It is a little odd. What's going on? What's going on? To be honest, I'm kind of wondering what exactly is on each of those six connectors. If this ever broke, that connector or anything like that, I would maybe consider seeing if I could retrofit a different design into there. Depends on how many of those connectors are used. If it's like 3 are ground and 3 are 20 volts or something weird, or 48 volts or whatever, you know, they're all matched, then I would maybe consider doing that. If they're all special, you know, all 6 of them, then I would probably just try and fix it and repair it the way it is. All right, man. Have a good one, Android. Thanks for stopping by. Yuck, I hate that people use this kind of tape, but... I want you to know, he's asking you if they accept it, or he's telling you that they accepted it. Oh, if you accept it, if they accepted it, would you take it as is? Oh, is that good or bad for you? I mean, it kind of sounds like if you're making an offer, I'm assuming you were willing to pay for it as is, yeah? Scratch my hand up on that. I mean, that sounds like a good thing to me. Yeah, looking at the back of this, there's nothing on here. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're into that kind of thing. All right, so looking at this power input, I see a ground. Yeah, so there's 6 inputs, and every 2 of them share. It's kind of hard. It's really hard to show you. Every 2 of them share a pole. Let me see if I get the Sharpie. I gotta buy some Sharpies. I keep losing them all. So let's say this is the power connector here, this square, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how it comes in off of the board. Obviously they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when they come in through the power cable, but the actual surface mount thing converts them like this. And so what we end up with is we have this one is on a floodplane that goes around the back like this. And floodplanes out. I'm not drawing it with all the fancy angles that they have on it, but so they have this floodplane here. I'm assuming you can see that. Not so great. They have that floodplane, which connects this one and this one together. And I know that's ground because it goes to the floodplane. Floodplane, if you can see, this big green area and all that, that's the floodplane. They usually typically reserve that for ground because you want a lot of grounding in your equipment. These are actually staggered, but I'll make do. This one actually goes through like this over to here, and that goes out, and this one goes straight through like that and down. So we have these 3 leads, the floodplain, this one, and that one coming off of this. So, and they're connected via this terminal right here. So in theory, you could replace that 6-pin power connector with a 3 cable solution here. I don't know actually where they quite go. Ah, okay. So they go immediately south of that connector are 2 terminals right here, and they actually go to this power switch and then come right back next to it. And then go off to some rectifiers. Is that a bridge rectifier? Are they passing AC? Ooh, ew. Is that AC? $18-volt CT. I don't know if I know what CT stands for. Well, I'm glad that they are considering accepting your offer. I mean, I imagine you wouldn't offer if you didn't want to buy it, right? Let's see. What does VCT mean? VCT. And VCT vape. Electronics, let's see. I guess there's a brand called VCT Electronics. That's not what I want. Not finding what it means. VCT. Voltage coupled transformer? Full bridge rectifier, yes. Variable current transfer? Yeah. I don't think so, because you wouldn't say 18 currents VTC, you know what I mean? You would have a current rating, and they don't measure it. They actually list 0.75 amps on here. 18 VCT. Voltage control transfer? Maybe, but why would they say it that way? I gotta spell it. I hate the keyboard on this phone. Video teleconferencing. No, I want VCT. I put it in wrong. Variable cam timing. Nope, I'm gonna call a no on that one. That's for a car. Let's see. Voltage control transfer. You're probably looking at the same thing as me. Yeah, you're looking at the exact same thing as me, Mystics. I don't like that. Volt center tapped. That makes so much more sense. Okay. This is what's happening. It's so clear to me now. Okay. Volt center tapped. So basically what we're doing is we're getting 18 volts. This floodplain ground is the center tap of that voltage transformer. So we're probably getting plus 9 volts and minus 9 volts. Is my guess. Or plus 18 and minus 18. But it's probably plus 9, minus 9. That makes so much more sense. So the way they do that, and it would be analog too, which is why they have to have that rectifier. So the way they do that is typically what you would have is a, I know it's kind of hard to see, is a transformer, right? And you'd have a secondary winding. Can I zoom in? Hang on. All right, we're learning now. All right, so you'd have I'm writing this upside down. Forgive me. 120 volts. Wow, that actually came out nice. Coming in AC, of course. C. That looks like a fucking kid wrote that, right? And so the way this works is if you have 5 windings here and say you have 10 windings here, probably want to reverse that. If you have 10 windings here and 5 windings here, you would get 60 volts. Oops. 60 volts over here, right? The box looks dirty. It's a little dusty, yeah. Right? So assuming this has, say this has 10 windings and this has, oh god, how do you write a 5 upside down? That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it either. This one. Right? Remember, I'm this way, so I'm writing upside down. Right? What they can do is instead of having 60 volts across here, right? What you can do is actually take a center tap out of that. I'm waiting for the chat to catch up because I can't see it. Yeah, you can barely see it. Yes. So you can take a center tap out of that. And so what that does is if you reference the center tap as your ground here, you then end up with, say, 30 volts here. Oops. 30. I can't do this upside down. I'm sorry. You have 30 volts here and 30 volts here on either side. This is really hard to do upside down. So you end up with 30 volts and 30 volts, and of course one of them has to be negative because it's the opposite side. And so that's what they're giving us. They're giving us that center tap as ground, plus what I'm assuming is going to be 9, and minus what's going to be 9. I'm assuming 18 volt center tap is from tap to tap, but I don't know. Oh man, that now that I read that makes so much fucking sense. I wonder if the site says how it's referenced. Yes, it's exactly how it's referenced. So, in my case, I have 18 volts across and 9 from the center to the side and center to the side. So it's actually positive 9 volts and negative 9 volts coming into this board. I hope you all enjoyed your lesson today. That being said, nothing on here really looks that terrible. There's a date on here, 7/6/99. You weren't paying attention? Go clip it and look back. Where's Kyle's? Can I restart the stream? Yes, let me go put the other board back in. So something that this can do, and since I'm zoomed in, this is a good time to do it. we look here, do it this way. So if you look here, you can see up here, right? It says, let me get over this. On one of these, right? You can see there is a bracket here and a bracket on this side as well, right? The bracket on this side says stereo default, and the bracket on the other side says mono balanced, not stuffed. I don't know why it says not stuffed. I'll have to look that up. So what I can actually do is each one of these inputs is actually a stereo headphone input, but what I can actually do is remove those two jumpers that are on this stereo default side, right? And I can replace them with the two that are on that mono balanced side, and I can turn them into balanced inputs, which is actually great for what I want to do. So I am going to do that. I don't know when. I kind of prepared to do that today, but I don't know if I want to until I know that this is working well. Maybe I will do it today. And so what that affords me is these two are master inputs right on the side. You can't see because it's so zoomed in. These two are master inputs right here. And so they're already balanced inputs left, right. But each one of these down the row is a stereo input, a stereo output. But what I can change to do is single input, single output. And that means that the master headphone out... Ooh. Hang on, let me see how this is done. Yeah, so the master would go to every single one of those, and only certain things would go to certain channels. So, you know, obviously the one plugged into channel 1 would go to channel 1. And what that could afford me is actually I could output 6 different channels out of my interface and plug them into here. And then I can have a pair of headphones for VR that has, you know, my VR microphone when I finally get it. You know, one that has a regular microphone, one that doesn't have a microphone in it, so that I can leave my speakers plugged in at all time, because you can't leave speakers plugged in with headphone with a live microphone in the room, unless the microphone's not going to it. Maybe I will do that now. Hang on. I kind of don't want to fuck with it until I know that it works or it doesn't work, though. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna do it yet. You can see how much the camera started tilting down because this is no longer the bottom of the screen anymore. Let me put the cover back on this, and then I'm gonna go work on that mic putting it in. Put it in, we'll test it. Trying to think. Someone called and left me a voicemail while I was streaming. But I didn't recognize the number. me see if I can figure out what it's about actually before I... This is the final call before we close the file. Oh my god. It's a fucking... something about my car. Fuck off. Fucking refinance my car loans or some shit. I paid it off years ago. Go on, Griff. B7, how you guys doing? It's not even like I'm dodging payments or shit. I literally paid off the car and have the title. Like, there's nothing my car is owed. I get them all the time. I hate it. It's such a pain in the ass. It's such a worthless distraction from all the things I have to do, like opening up electronics. I haven't had any iced tea this whole time. It was legit. I don't know. I feel like if I wanted to do any of that, I would look up who to go with. Not, you don't need to solicit me. Nice product placement. That's some product placement here. There's some fucking product placement for you. I don't have any more Deets nuts. In fact, I even gave the cup to my brother, so I don't even have that either. Okay, he might have had this. This is how he had it. He labeled them on the bottom. That's a little bit weird. Ah, very good. Screws back in. So a good tip for putting in screws like this, which I'm not doing, do as I say, not what I do, is to leave them all, you know, just barely hand tight until the end. Because if you don't match the first 90 correct, that last one is always going to be off, and then you're going to be cross-threaded, or you're going to have to fucking unscrew them all. Yeah, like that one. Oh, I hope this preamp works. Oh, I hope it works. Oh, that's pretty funny, actually. Pretty sure that you're not going to run out of places. Yeah, like this don't want to go in easily, but I really want to pull this tape off, but I know it's going to be a sticky disaster underneath. Oh, gross. Yeah, I'm not taking it anymore off. Either last time he took this apart, he put the cover on upside down, or he had it mounted upside down. Because this is the bottom. I'll show you. You can see this is printed upright. And so this is the top, this is the bottom. But I know he had this on this side because this tape matches right here. Curious. All right, that's all I got for today anyway. I need to plug this headphone amplifier in and actually set it up and run stuff through it and test it. So I'm not going to do that on stream because you will not hear anything. That really only affects me. The only thing I can really do on stream is to test out that mic pre. Buy extra screw. I ended up with any extra screws. No extra screws. I kind of want to put it in and try it. I don't mind if people want to hang out and wait and see. I unfortunately cannot talk to you while I do it. A and B. I'm going to mute OBS because if it fails the same way it failed last time, it really is just loud garbage. Like basically there's a digital volume limit and it literally just smacks that digital volume limit with just garbage as loud as it can. So it really hurts. So if you want to stick around and wait and see if I get this working, feel free. Otherwise, I'm not really going to be doing much else besides that. So I don't want to tell you to stop watching, but the visual part of the stream is over. So I'm going to flip to... What's going on, Mac? I'm going to flip to the other screen, and there's no really easy way for me to show you what I'm doing, but basically what I'm going to be doing is there's a digital audio analog, a digital cable, a digital analog cable, a digital cable that goes actually not that one, the top one, that goes into this port. It's actually a fiber optic cable. And I have to unplug it from the other machine and plug it into this machine, and then plug in the microphone, and then reestablish clock and all that. So it's probably going to be a few minutes. It doesn't help that this is all in my case, buried in the corner. So it's really going to take me a couple minutes, but oh well, wish me luck. We will see. I'll be back. Oh, it works! Oh, it works! I'm coming to you live through the previous microphone preamplifier. Oh, I'm so used to the other one. Ooh, boy. Wow. I need to mess with the I gotta figure out what my old settings were, but oh man, it's been so long since I used this. Oh boy. Alright. I'm glad it works. For how long it works, who knows? But I'm just happy I get it back again. Yes. It only costs 300 fucking butt dollars to get it going, but my goal for this, if it breaks again, is there is analog out that rear port that I can push to the other device instead of doing it digitally. But hey, congrats, man. Let me know how it goes. Oh man. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna be done. I will say, stay tuned. Not this Tuesday, but the one afterward is our 300th episode of the podcast. We're gonna be looking at some older episodes, but definitely come check it out. I personally have been working pretty hard on some surprises for it, so definitely want to check that out if you're into entertainment. We talk about recent entertainment, so recent TV shows, entertainment news, stuff like that. So twitch.tv/dual redundancy if you're into that. Otherwise, I got a couple other surprises planned you may see soon. Can't tell you what they are yet, but he's been getting better. I just don't know what happened this week, but oh well. I'm gonna go actually reroute all my cables to work properly in this and actually screw it in instead of having it just loose out here. So I'm gonna go offline and do that. Thank you guys for coming to watch. This is something that I like to do is fool around with electronics like this. My hope is that I can fool around with that headphone amplifier enough to figure out what I need to do. Hey, thank you, Frey. What I need to do to fix it. Maybe it all looks real nice inside. Maybe it just needs to be grounded properly and then it'll work. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah. You guys have a good night. I'm glad to have this working again. Hopefully for longer than... hopefully for 5 years. 5 more years at least, if not another 20. I shouldn't have said anything. Alright. Good night, guys. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. I know that some of the VODs can get a little bit long, so I do appreciate you sticking around. I'd like to ask real quick if you have a friend or someone close to you who you think would like a clip or a portion or even the whole stream, please feel free to reach out to them and share this with them. I'm always looking for more respectful people to come hang out and have some fun. If you've already done that or want to help me out some other way, feel free to check out the video description for some other ways you can help support me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.